What do you say to us, Ewaju? Let me tell you first, before we begin. You see this cap? I will not forgive any commissioner that is not wearing it. In Expo, if you are not wearing suit and you are wearing traditional dress and you are coming to the Expo without this Asewaju cap, you are going back. You are coming to the Expo without this Asewaju cap.
You would have mistaken that to being Okpebholo's most grievous offense in this particular event. But calm down. Whatever he decides to do, of course, he's a sycophant himself. And however he decides to groom further sycophants as Hallelujah boys to Bola Tinubu, none of my personal business. But what should be is how he decides to run it, though. Yes, we're already getting the embarrassment. There is nothing he can do. Who is on the floor or is down fears no fall. So there's nothing more. But I'm worried with the travesty happening currently to our state administration and the fact that the clueless, confused, and catastrophic leader seems to have taken this misguided, unheaded, misdirected, and of course very confused government to ruin the state. From not just from re-employing mischievous, old cargo, retired, unhealthy, and very, very lack of value politicians back into the system as commissioners. He has increased the ministries from 80 to 28 in a time where we are complaining. Of course, following the footsteps of his mentor and father, Bola Tinubu, there is proliferation of ministries. Some ministries are doing same thing but with different nomenclature. People are asking what is happening. It's never been this bad. As much as I do not want to hype anybody, whether past or future, but you just want to look at things to say, what do you need a couple of the things that you have gone to implement? What's all this proliferation? What's all this duplication of ministries because you want to please certain persons? Some of them are relatives to politicians who are around him. Some of them are his sons-in-law. Some of them are sugar daddies to certain elements, all just because you want to please everybody. You couldn't contain them. No wonder it took you 1 year to finally now have a commissioner list. I mean 1 year. Not because he took out time painstakingly to look for the best, but because there were too many involvement, too many voices, too many interests, and he had to try to satisfy. At some point, he just said, "Mokukukuma do this thing, mo spoil am." As I talk to you now, Edo State has a commissioner for information and a commissioner for communication. Never done in anywhere. But of course, he's taking a clue again from his mentor and boss Bola Tinubu, who has an Idris as Commissioner for Information and a Tijani as Commissioner for Communication. Whereas, and I asked, why do we have these duplications? Again, all this goes to show how we are wasting taxpayers' money. We are incurring overhead costs. We are incurring too many recurrent expenditure, putting too many burdens on the citizens, carrying too many. So when Bola Tinubu string of all Nigerians' money to collect from them, fear subsidy, fear tax, and all of this taxation, sends this to clueless people like Okpebholo takes this money and begins to use it to do proliferation and duplications of ministries. Whereas by this time, we should be looking for how to cut to size and reduce cost of governance. This man, because he's confused, he's clueless, and he's catastrophic, there is nothing he knows about any of these things. As long as he just they put them. As I talk to you now, if care is not taken, he can. I'll take you into some of them. The list of the commissioners are out there. But what is worrisome, according to this guy Zadi, when he made this clear, say we have 28 ministries with multiple duplications. We now have a Ministry of Livestock Development, whereas there's also a Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. And you are asking, why don't we merge this together? Why do we have a livestock development as what? As a a commerce sector, also where we make money from, and we have a Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. There is a Ministry of Land and Housing. There is also a Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. There's also a Ministry of Information and Strategy, and there's also a Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. Again, Okpebholo will just say because he hears say that they do one for Abuja and he duplicate them. Digital what? Do you know what that means? And guess what? Go and look at the names of the people manning this. Of course, you know that the former Attorney General and Chief Commissioner for Justice have been sacked, and I hear that they are asking that he has 24 hours to take a Ministry of Arts and Culture. That's the only ministry that has not been taken. Since they said it's a palace, where make it your kukuma the culture. I hope I don't apologize for that. Also, there's also a Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation. This is what an agency can just be doing, as in agency ad hoc duties for 6 months or 1 month. And there's also a Ministry of Environment and Sustainability. Sustaining what? That's the level of cluelessness that is, and confusion, and again catastrophe that this government is bringing at Edo. We have not just reduced the pride of an average Edo man into how he's now being seen. And I'm not talking gibberish. I'm telling you, ask an average Edo man that is. I'm not saying those that are idiot or sycophants around this government. People that are in the marketplace, that are having conversations. I have people that I deal with on day-to-day basis. In some groups I belong to, if they want to shame me, they will send my governor's video into that group just to ensure that I keep my mouth shut, to say I cannot be claiming all this knowing. And then the man in Dennis Osadebe Avenue is constantly bringing embarrassment to our state. God will never forgive all of you that contributed to this mess, to this curse. God, no matter who you are, whether dead or alive, God will never forgive all of this miserability you have caused, this pain, this emotional and mental torture that we see every time news coming from Edo. It will continue to rest on you and your families. Because what is this?